It's an income tax, it's not a...
We'll call this regular meeting of the Area Planning Commission to order. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight, and please stand for the pledge.
I thought you were already seated. I didn't. You're always running late.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're like late to the party on purpose. You're always in the room. You're always going to be.
Nothing wrong with that. If you can. Like I said, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone. We'll start with roll call.
Darren Price.
Present.
Bill Free.
Present.
Dale Munson.
Present.
Gary Naylor.
Present.
Robert Stewart.
Present.
Brian Robb.
Present.
Bill Mackey.
Present.
Daryl Drew.
Present.
Phil McDaniel.
Present.
Jeff Wessling.
Present.
Myself. Did I call Tim Sparks?
Nope, not yet. Present.
Okay.
As far as you
I
know.
don't think I remember seeing him.
All right.
I think you're gonna fit in just fine.
We do have a quorum tonight, and I thank everyone for that. And so I don't believe we have any minutes tonight for approval.
Nope, correct.
Bill?
Didn't receive any. Nope.
All right, we'll move on to introductions.
Me again?
Yeah, we'll do it one last time.
Yeah, it's all right.
Since everybody wasn't here last month.
No, happy to do it again. Welcome, everybody. Hello, my name's Tim Sparks. Born and raised in Connorsville. Grew up after college, moved out to Batesville for a while, moved to the northern Kentucky area. Moved back to the area back in 2012. Spent a couple of years in Australia, and this has been home essentially since 2012. So,
You left God's country to come back here.
yeah, it was tough.
What, Australia?
Have a passport here in Kentucky?
Yeah, yes, I do.
All right,
Go there every day, though.
Yeah.
welcome and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, let's get right into it. We do have a BZA hearing tonight, so we want to kind of keep things moving so we don't have those folks having to wait on their hearing. So we'll get started on the parking regulations. I understand that we have some suggestions sent back to us from the commissioners, both the commissioners and the city council. And I'll let Bill go over those for us.
Okay, well, I had the opportunity to speak with Commissioner Strong. Of course, if you recall, what I sent everybody out last month was that he had some broad comments about certain sections he didn't think were appropriate for outside of the city of Connorsville out in Fayette County. So we finally met, and so we could talk through some things. And so I was able to put into words the thing, as much as I could, with to get at some of the points that Commissioner Strong was making, some of the things he feels about. And I was trying to do it in a way that was not going to basically have a parking section within a parking section. So that was the choice of some of the language I picked up, and some of those was to Commissioner Strong felt that some things weren't appropriate outside of the limits of Connorsville. I did talk to him that, so some of those right there will be, some of the things will be applied to, okay, within the corporate limits of the city of Connorsville, and then also in the subdivisions in the outside of the city of Connorsville limits. Okay, and another big concern was because some of the language was still from the old ordinances from 30 years ago, and a lot of things most people realize have changed. For example, the language on parking of commercial vehicles, and so what the ordinance did have in the language, some of the language I kept from the ordinance was about no automobile trailers. But that really isn't, Mr. Strong emphasized, it really isn't exactly practical anymore because a lot of people with that, a lot of people in the county with those. And the other one is that he had the question about the semi trucks. And we had a lot of discussion about it, and I think maybe we tried to finesse it too much. So, let's see, and as usual is, new language in here is gonna be, italicized within the body of text. As usual is indicating the parenthesis with my questions and comments about some of these, as I usually do. Okay, and then there was one item that, two items within the parking tables that did make sense to eliminate. And those had to do with the outdoor recreation activities such as, be places like, such as up at the bird sanctuary and other items. And, so let's go ahead and we'll start with okay, so the first one, it really as far as, so what I have is the top one is gonna be with comments I've had based on the city council meeting and then also my conversation with Mr. Strong. But I also had provided the actual original language of what was presented originally to the Area Plan Commission, that the Plan Commission voted to forward to the commissioners and then the city council. And Mr. Westling, if I misstate something based on what you also recall of the conversations, please don't hesitate to correct me.
Sure.
Okay, so the first one gets into the, it's up in the, the parking of recreational vehicles. And,
There's one up here, page 2.
oh, thank you.
Parking space dimension.
Yes. Oh, the parking space.
I think that's a change.
Oh, no, that was, Councilman Collins was suggesting 180 square feet minimum. But I think that's getting down to the standard length of a parking space is 20 feet. And that would put a 9 by 20 parking space. And with the proliferation and the number of dominance around Fayette County of big trucks, I don't know if 108, because that would make it 9 foot wide instead of 10 foot wide, and that I think that 6 inches can make a bit of a difference. So how do that was a suggestion with Councilman Collins, but what do board? And what we'll want to do is, on any of these things with potential changes, the Plan Commission will need to vote on each of the individual changes if you think it's appropriate, or if you do not think some of these changes, or you want to change some of the language, each one of those will need to be voted on one at a time by the members of the Plan Commission. Okay, so I think that is, Any questions, comments related to that 200 square feet? Versus 180 square feet.
A couple places in the maneuvering spaces that cover for that because it talks about 45-degree parking and 18 feet for one-way traffic, 60 or 90-degree parking, but the table still shows 10 by 20.
Yeah, well, I didn't make that change within the table.
Okay.
Because is the, so I don't know what the board members feel about that, maintaining that or changing that.
Any thoughts?
Okay.
Leave it at the 200?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay, and can we then, as we're going through this, take an actual vote on each one?
Sure.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You do
Oh,
want a motion?
we could make a motion on that to keep or change.
I make a motion, we leave it at 200 foot. Second.
There's a motion made and seconded that we leave C at 200 square feet minimum. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you for catching that.
Well, I wasn't for sure, but
No.
I just did see it as we were starting into it.
Okay, now the next one down is B in the recreational vehicle parking spaces. And as I said, this is one of the ones with, it's the Commissioner Strong felt that there was a, okay, and the, it might be appropriate in the city, but some of these items with the recreational vehicles might not be appropriate outside of the city limits of Connersville. And so the one with there is the, so we originally had was no portion of, okay, well, let me go to. Okay, the recreational vehicle parking, because what we had with that with D was no portion of any required minimum front yard setback shall be used to open parking of a recreational vehicle or parts thereof except for visitation purposes as described in this section. Okay, parking and store, what include, the new language includes parking and storage of recreation vehicles on driveway within front yard setback is permitted. Registration recreational vehicles stored in the front yard shall be current. Recreation vehicles without current registration may only be stored to the side or the rear of the dwelling, not within the front or side yard setbacks. And because I think, if I recall, we also had a discussion about a lot of people really place them up, do use their driveway to store their recreation vehicles. And the actual language that was still kept where it said you can't do that. And a lot of people do that. And if it's maintained, it's like whether or not there's a problem with it. So, no. I mean, so what do board members think about that?
Motion to accept the change or stay the same?
This is just talking about county, right?
Yeah, because what this is doing, it stays the same in the city. But this is actually adding the, okay, this one with the language, this one is actually allowing them to be parked on the driveway even within the city of Connersville.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
city and county.
And I think as we, because, you know, some people also not only have their recreation, their RV, but some people, you know, they have their, you know, they got their boat also. So it's the idea is trying to get away from the, perhaps it was too strict the way it was written. You can have an RV or you can have a boat.
I'll entertain a motion either way.
Bill, so does that, but does it still restrict them from parking on the street?
Okay, well, the zoning code doesn't really handle whether about the parking on the street, because I know there's things within the city code, but if you think it's within the city limits to not parking them on the street, if that should be an addition, I guess make a motion for an addition or have a discussion on it.
What could be problematic for trying to see around stop signs and getting through traffic.
Okay.
And I think that's the purpose of them having to be back, the setback distance.
But as far
As well.
as them being on the street.
So, yeah, I would agree. I think there should be some language in there that no on-street parking, maybe, for that same reason.
Well, and access for first responders.
Yeah,
Plus they're wide also.
Yeah.
a little wider than a common street vehicle.
Okay, so language to the effect of that, okay. Well, parking of recreation
And I think we run into that in some of the subdivisions as well.
Yeah.
Some on-street parking that really is dangerous for it to be out
Or
there.
parking recreation vehicles on, okay. Okay. Within, okay, city or county. Okay, right of way, does that language work?
Yeah, I think so. Right away.
Okay, so that would be placed right after the part with the setbacks.
I would make a motion to approve that.
The changes.
Yes.
Use the changes instead.
Use the changes with
With the
that.
addition.
the
Off-street.
additional proposal. Okay.
Been a motion made and seconded that we approve the changed language with the additional off-street or on-street parking language. Is there any other discussion or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we move down to 1.
Okay, down to D. Well, let's go through the language on that comment. Okay, the big concern, the section states, the parking of a commercial vehicle shall be, including cars, SUV pickups, automobile trailers is new, as is in a single owner-operated semi-truck. And he made the observation that there's also, the way things tend to work now, you can have some people do actually have more than one, work vehicle that's parked at home. So for example is, if you consider school buses a work vehicle, but someone then also has, because I'm sure some of your drivers also have other jobs and some of them probably have their own work vehicles.
Sure.
Okay. So that's kind of the idea with that. And, but my comment is, this is a big concern to Commissioner Strong. Is the limitation still reasonable after 3 decades of economic changes? Both the limitation on number of work vehicles stored on the property and limitation in size. We carved out an exception for the school bus drivers. Is it reasonable and fair treatment to prohibit a single semi-truck? Then how then should that's in another paragraph, semi-trailers be treated? Perhaps lot sizes are reasonable associated with trailers rather than also the trucks. So that's my comment.
What does the first sentence mean?
What? Which,
So the parking of a commercial vehicle shall be including cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, automobile trailers, and a single owner operated semi-truck. I don't follow
Okay,
what that
all
means.
okay. Okay. Actually, the B is extraneous.
Is that a definition?
No, it's defining in here how we're looking at things as far as the commercial vehicles.
What is a commercial?
Yeah, basically, that's what it's doing. So really, the parking of a commercial vehicle include, including cars. So including cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, automobile trailers, and a single owner-operated semi-truck.
Is that what is that a definition? What is that?
Okay, it's not really the definition, but it's identify what it's considering as, the type of commercial vehicles that you might typically have.
Did you say this is our complete?
Yeah, this was the one that was actually forwarded to,
And where let's see. That's under D, commercial.
So that is that first section defining? Is the first sentence defining what a commercial vehicle is?
yeah, it's as per the code, yeah, this particular section.
But that's so.
Yeah,
I think
basically that's defining what's regulated.
So I would like it much more if it said something like, for the purposes of this section, a commercial vehicle shall include. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Section.
Jeff, are you looking at the full ordinance? There's the full ordinance.
What was originally proposed.
Yeah, I think I am, right?
Yeah, because we had what was originally proposed, and then.
So what is this? This is your
Okay,
revamp.
yeah, this is the one, and it's placed on the actual
Yeah.
commissioners.
See, the original makes more sense.
Both of these are identical.
So like, the first one reads, I understand, I'm not saying whether we want it or not, I'm not having any of that discussion, I'm just saying, does it make sense what it reads?
Yeah.
Can I understand what it says?
Yeah.
I understand what that says in the original,
Yeah,
I do
think-
not understand what it
Okay, I
says.
think some of my editing was a
Right,
little
right,
difficult.
which happens, that's why we're.
So that,
screwing up.
what you suggested probably makes more sense also. For the purpose of this section, a commercial vehicle includes, okay,
So we want, what we're saying in that first sentence, the only purpose of that first sentence is to say, these are what we include as commercial
Yeah.
vehicles. So, but commercial vehicles, everything? Because you say cars,
yeah, because some people have cars.
so
that
everything's
are-
commercial vehicle.
Yeah, because, yeah, well, it's.
Like a company car.
Okay, well, we need to include that then.
A company.
Commercial vehicle, I mean, I think that, because the way I read that is, the way I would interpret it in a court of law, at least the argument I would make to the judge is that every single vehicle that you could possibly have is a commercial vehicle.
Okay, company car.
So you interpret that as a personal vehicle as well as.
Yeah, because the parking of, so if we're saying, if this is all it is defining it, a commercial vehicle is, it says includes cars, SUVs, pickup trucks. Yeah, I don't.
Right, so like K&K or Powell's vans, you know, they have multiple shovels, multiple pickup trucks.
So I would put something in there about with company logos on them or with any type of,
Okay, companies picked up trucks.
because I mean, what, so, you know, what do we want to do with a construction worker that has 5 construction trucks but he doesn't have anything on them? Are those commercial vehicles or are they not?
Yeah, and, yep.
How would you define that though, Jeff? I mean, how do you determine whether that's,
Well, I don't know, I don't know what you're really wanting to do here. Are we wanting to restrict
Well-
somebody that's got two construction trucks?
Well,
I mean, what's the,
well,
what's the,
what
if
this-
they're
this
normal,
is
my
try-
question is if they're normal vehicles,
Yeah.
why do we care? If they're normal vehicles and it has a logo on it, why is that different to us than if it doesn't have a logo on it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, that's just my thoughts. I want to know your purpose and then I'll draft how
I
we
think
want to
what.
accomplish it.
Couldn't you have a vehicle with a magnetic sign on it and then take it off when you pull in the driveway?
Right. I mean, right. So I just,
But I think the original discussion, if I remember right, was we were concerned about people having a business and storing all their equipment in Hanson Meadows at their house
right.
or whatever. I think.
So our goal needs
wasn't
to
that
be
kind of the-
multiple, does our goal need to be multiple commercial vehicles and then we define commercial vehicles?
That's what I wondered, do we
Does that
just
make sense?
Yeah.
put a limit on the number of,
If you have more than one commercial vehicle, it needs to be stored inside of an enclosed structure, okay? And then for the purposes of this section, a commercial vehicle is anything that is used for a business that, I mean, you gotta be careful because like if you're a Bob Stewart, who's an appraiser, he uses his vehicle for business, right? I mean, you gotta be careful with that. So,
and that's what I think that was the dilemma. How do we address?
Because
I think you
it was-
define commercial vehicles as anything with company logos on it. You know what, and if the guy has 3 regular work trucks that don't have company logos on them, I mean, we can't restrict a guy from owning 3 trucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because part of the discussion is there's a recognition that it needed to be expanded over what we had originally.
Right. And I'm never here to tell you about content as
Oh, no,
far as
no.
what your decision should be. I just wanted to say what you want it to say.
And be able to get through court.
Because right now, and this happens all the time, and this is the large ordinance. One, I would have no clue what to tell the judge our intention was with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do we want to, maybe the same as what we were talking about before, do we want to address the on-street parking? Is that
Well,
here where we
No,
add
this really isn't dealing with the on-street parking because the concern with the other for the on-street parking was the size. Because if it's a public right-of-way, you know, you know, that's the problem with the, within the right of way, if it's a, you know, work vehicle or something. Because there's one gentleman that, okay, it's not a huge trailer, but the only place he actually has to park his trailer with his truck is on the street. It's on, just off of Grand Avenue on, I think 16th Street. And that's the only place he actually has to park it.
Without going down to the city parking lot, where trucks are allowed to park. Truck and trailer.
Yeah, because all it is a pickup truck with one of those, standard, small, contractor trailers.
And what we're still getting to, even if if we went back to the original language, which makes sense, but it effectively says you can only have one commercial vehicle on your property, okay? And if you have more than one, you have to store it. It also bans automobile trailers.
Yeah.
But Commissioner Strong's, he's wondering if this makes sense at all, so.
Yeah, with
I
not
mean, I think
banning the
that's
automobile
and-
trailers.
And in all fairness to this board, we can't get anything done without the commissioners approving it.
Yep.
So, I think he's wanting to relook at that. So do we want to say that's within the city limits? You know, is it different, is it different in another neighborhood or not? I don't know.
Do we have a definition of that? Because we talk about definition of recreational vehicles under definitions, but do we have that for?
Do we have a definition somewhere of what commercial vehicle is? No, I don't,
No.
I don't think so. And I would really like to use one. I would really like for us on section 1 to define what commercial vehicle is. I think it needs to be defined.
Yeah, because a commercial vehicle could even be considered a city vehicle, such as the on-call
Well, absolutely.
people, police officers.
Yeah,
take
sure.
home
The husband and
vehicles.
wife police officers can only have one vehicle, there can only
Yes.
be one police officer in their driveway, right? I mean, that obviously is not what we want.
Yeah, your on-call city workers.
So maybe, you know, maybe it is expanded, maybe you still limit it, but expand it, or maybe you decide you don't want to limit it at all, I don't know.
What happens if we just eliminate the language altogether?
Then they can
Scenarios?
I really don't think
I mean,
it'd make much of a
They could,
difference.
well, I mean, like somebody can, Jeff Westling's, towing and wreck, I could have 3 or 4, trucks there, right? Now, obviously, I can't park them unless there's enough space. So, I mean, I personally don't know the purpose of this section too much, to be honest with you. I mean, unless your thoughts are you don't want logo truck, you don't want the Jeff Westling's heating and cooling with vans, 3 vans, and have the stuff on the side, you don't want those parked in my driveway.
Yeah, well, it's,
I mean, it's still gonna be limited to the size of the driveway,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the difference between that is, whether I have 3 sports cars lined up in the driveway.
yeah, it's the language that's in that. It's,
I mean, I don't know what you guys think.
well, I suspect that when
with you.
some of these ordinances were developed, is that, the people were sticking in language that's actually typically, I mean, this is the kind of language that's typically in a covenant.
So I mean, if we just got rid of paragraph 1,
Is that gonna mess with the rest of them? Jeff, did you
not
read on
not
that?
under section D, no.
Okay. I didn't want,
We still haven't defined commercial vehicle, but I don't know that we need to, because the rest of that section really just talks about semi trucks and school
Okay.
buses.
all right.
Jeff, do most vehicles have a commercial plate? I mean, like mine does.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that might be the way to regulate it, is if you have some type of commercial plate. But what's I mean, is it agricultural plate too? I mean, I don't know.
And, hey, Jeff? I think Jeff Fisher's out there.
I don't know the answer to it.
Okay, now for your business with your truck, do you have commercial plates or regular plates?
I have regular plates. You can do either one, but I have regular.
You have an option.
But you don't have a sign or anything on your truck, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's.
So I mean, that's considered his regular vehicle, but he uses it for work, so
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
either or.
No, it's,
But does it change, do we care if his truck has a sign on the side or it doesn't? Like, does that change the beauty of Connorsville in any way?
yeah, because I suspect going back to it is that like I said, it's the type of language you often see in things like covenants. where they.
Right, well, that's an entirely different
Yeah.
thing than if you have a neighborhood and they want to have a certain look and feel and vibe to
Yeah.
the neighborhood, that's on
Let-
them.
let
And
them
everybody
do it
that's
with
buying there is buying there for that purpose and
The
understands that.
covenants, let the
Right.
covenants take care of what they want sitting in their housing development or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe.
Now,
So would there be a motion
What about the 1
to
acre?
strike number one totally?
I'll make a motion.
Dale made the motion, Bill seconded it. Motion made and seconded that we strike paragraph
At least 1
one
acre.
in its totally. Any other questions or discussions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same.
okay,
Motion carries. Paragraph one will be struck.
Did you change paragraph 2 as well?
okay, there's some changes in paragraph 2, but, okay, this is the one with the semi-trailer storage. It's actually dealing with those separately from the semi.
Must have 1 acre?
That you're looking at the old one, he's proposed a different one. I want to make sure we're all on the same.
Yeah.
When you guys look at 2, does it mention 1 acre, the version you're looking at?
No.
Okay, that's the version I want to use, because, does that make sense?
Where's the new version?
Does he have another copy? Do you have another copy of
The
that?
one from last month had the 1 acre.
Yeah, right.
wording on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here.
So-
So
You have
the
another
intent of the
copy
last
what
one
you're
was-
going over right now.
Okay, so the intent of the first one was trying to deal with the parking of, including the semi, the cabs, the trucks. So the second one is that.
It should have been in front of you.
We got 2 of the same, both of us got 2 of the old. I'm looking at his new one. I don't believe Bob has a copy of the new one at all.
Probably right down there.
Is that in here?
No.
This is the old one?
What's page 3?
Yeah, page 3s are different on
I mean, honestly, there's a part of me that we're not in a giant rush
Here's what
this
his
second
page
with
3
this
looks
thing.
like.
I think we probably need to all make sure we get the same
Keep
versions.
me in the dark. by all
Go through it,
means.
and then next
Me too,
meeting.
don't feel bad.
Okay, I thought you said we were up against the clock.
Well, the new guy gets the updated one, the rest of us.
No, because they
suck our
rejected it.
thumbs.
Bill?
Looks stupid.
See if we're paying attention.
You think we're on a clock with the ordinance?
Yeah, because we have a 45-day window.
They rejected it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think our intention, at least I thought, was we're gonna have another public hearing on this thing and just start the process over. You don't wanna do that?
No, I think we can do that.
Yeah, that's-
What we can do then is to.
Just vote tonight to go along with what the commissioner said, reject it.
Yeah.
And we will,
Reject it with the
next
council.
month, get everybody the exact version. I'm kind of a little nervous about different versions, because there's more language changed.
Yeah.
Get everybody the appropriate version, and then we come in next month and have a discussion, everybody
Let
kind
the
of has their
commissioners
points.
give us their opinion.
Does that make sense?
I'm
I don't wanna-
fine with that.
I
I don't
just-
have that one at all.
I'm a little uncomfortable right now
I just
with how
didn't
it's-
want
These
to
two right.
And Bob doesn't
screw up our.
So
We were up
so
against-
the only thing we need to do is vote that we'll agree with the commissioners and reject vote against the proposed that we had sent to them, and we will
Now we're
start the
on.
process.
Rehash it.
Right, which is honestly, if we clean this up and change this many things, we probably won't have another public hearing anyway.
Okay. So, Jeff says what we need to do tonight,
Does that make sense, Bill?
so that we can make sure, Bill can make sure everybody has the same language in front of them for next meeting. We'll need a motion to agree with the county commissioner's rejections vote. And then we'll start the process over with changes made with another hearing.
So move.
Second.
Jeff, will that do anything with what we already changed? Or we're just gonna start blank slate?
We can start, we'll go through those changes real quick next month, but yeah, we can start kind of. All these motions on the ordinance aren't really important until we get to the public hearing. Once we get to the public hearing, that version is what's big.
Basically, then what you're saying then, Jeff, if I understand you, the changes we've made tonight is what we want.
Yeah, we just want Bill to keep.
To be
Right,
put in front of the public hearing.
right, yes.
That's what we've said tonight.
Who made the motion?
Yeah, I think that'll be the wisest course of action.
There's been a motion made and seconded that we reject the ordinance as sent to the commissioners in agreement with their rejections. Is there any other discussion or questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries.
Guess what, well,
Just kind of, let's make sure
because
everybody
yeah,
gets.
because what my intention was to treat this kind of like to have a split, two documents on a split screen, so.
And you can do that, but can you do something for me that at
Yeah.
the top of one of them, put, you know, it won't be on the, what we actually passed, but go ahead and put like final draft or something like that, so we know what we're looking at.
Okay, final draft for next month. Okay, that'll work good because
I need to say,
there's a good chance that.
Updated
with-
draft or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
because there's a good chance with the Area Plan Commission, we'll have two public hearings next month.
Okay.
So, one would be a rezone and the other would be a minor subdivision. So, yeah, so it'd be best to have a discussion for this and then the following month in June, have the public hearing for this. And,
I hope we can get all this done
yeah.
in 30 minutes.
Yeah, so, as you can see is that if everybody goes ahead and just, I mean, just rip through the text, that's okay. Yeah. So I mean, because that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to clean this up and make it, with the parking, make it not so onerous, number one, the parking spaces, but some of the other provisions. Because which of course is what we're trying to do with the semi-parking and some of the other items. So I think keep in your mind is what's particularly onerous and what really makes sense when we're really looking at what Fayette County is right now. And then just the way things have changed with economics and then the social conditions.
All right. We'll move on down. The Solar Energy Steering Committee continues to meet and continues to discuss potential changes to the ordinance. That's about all I've got.
sounded like you guys had some good conversation.
It was very good the other night. We've taken time to, Tim has put together an ordinance that we're looking at from another county, and he's put in substitutions and whatnot, and we're going through that one to see how it matches with ours when we're done. And so,
Okay,
yeah,
so are you guys drilling down through every part of it, or are you just really focusing on the
they,
commercial?
right now, they're going through every bit of it.
Okay.
As an ordinance from another county, just looking at it from the standpoint of, is this one more appropriate than ours, and
Yeah.
how do we make it fit us, and so on and so forth. So, we continue to progress.
Okay. And, well, when it does come time, and I think that when it does come time to bring it up to, draft for the whole plan commission, if, a couple of the members are involved with it, then really explain the process, I'm thinking.
Yep, okay. Zoning code amendments, the accessory uses, and anything on that tonight, Bill?
No, because I was asking, board, plan commission members if they had any comments based on what we had.
Okay,
And I haven't been able to drill back down into it lately.
and the reformatted zoning code progress?
That's
no
still the
additional-
same, that's
okay.
still the same
All right.
standstill.
You have in front of you the director's report for March. Are there any questions or comments on it for Bill?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded that we approve the monthly report for March of 2024.
We still have 2023 listed for everything.
Yeah, I know.
All the meetings, yes, it is, isn't it?
Wait, at least I have the.
But the date
is
The dates are right?
Yes,
check.
yes,
Years off.
yes.
Just a year.
I
Okay,
know it's all in friendship. But, I want to point out one thing, is if you look at the electronic payments, it's mostly due to a large payment on the part of Nova Chemicals. That was a $15,000 plus permit.
Okay.
And I'm anticipating really the one with the Reed project will be 25,000 plus, based on the square footage of the project.
All right. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll entertain that. Is there a second? Been a motion made and seconded for adjournment. Any other questions or discussions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion carries.
Welcome to the April 25th Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Carrie Simpkins is absent. Jeff Fisher,
Here.
Darren Price,
Here.
Bill Free. Here. Bill McDaniel,
Present.
Jeff Westling,
Present.
and Beverly Reed.
Okay, and I don't believe we have any minutes to approve tonight. No new members to introduce. Okay, so number 5 on the agenda is public hearing. So I need to open.
Yep, officially open the public hearing.
We will open the public hearing.
And you can also read into the record what the public hearing is for.
Okay. This is a petition for relief from the lot size requirements of a minimum of 7,000 square feet for a single-family dwelling. Petitioner is requesting that a parcel consisting of 2 lots be permitted to reduce the lot at 3323 Wayne Avenue to 3,702.6 square feet in order to split the parcel so that the 2 dwellings on the parcel can be on separate parcels. Description is Beeson's Addition, lot number 398 and 399, and PT lot number 397, blocks 13 and 14, 3321 Wayne Avenue.
Okay. And we'll just do something, not a lot of people aren't familiar with some of the things with Beeson's Addition. They're 40-foot wide lots, 150-foot deep. And a lot of have been single lots, a lot of them have been combined lots. This is a case where 2 are combined and then an additional lot. The structures were built in 1945 before the current zoning code. So at the time until 1993, it was actually legally conforming, even having those on the 2 dwellings on the same parcel. Now, of course, you can no longer do that. And because it's non-conforming, it's almost impossible it has been impossible to find a financial institution that will approve a mortgage for it.
Right. Okay. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Victoria Cromie, 3321 Wayne Avenue.
And just kind of tell us about what you're...
As Bill said, the property is currently houses two houses, which it's been almost impossible to sell. I'd like to sell it, and I'd like to have it divided so that one house per parcel with a new deed, so that hopefully I can sell them, and you can't get financing on them. It was on the market for over a year. And I inherited it from my parents who built years ago, so that's pretty much it. They both have separate utilities, separate driveways. It's pretty much a clear cut.
And if anybody took the opportunity to drive by, I know several of you do, is that it's really nicely maintained properties.
Yeah.
Seems like it's a pretty clear-cut deal. It's already set up for two pieces of property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we need to make a motion to accept the change?
Yeah, well, the motion would be to approve the dimensional variance.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
We need to close the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, I need to close the public hearing
Okay.
first. Yeah, my apologies.
Okay. I guess, is there anybody else that wants to speak on this? Okay, if not, close the public hearing. We have a motion made to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now you can go ahead and do what you need to get it recorded.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Okay, director's reports. Nothing's changed in the last 10 minutes?
No, unless there's some electronic, permit applications waiting on my computer in the office.
Okay. If no one has any questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second to adjourn.
All those, for approving.
Oh,
the
to
director's
approve.
report.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anybody else have any comments? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.